All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into something I find absolutely fascinating: how an entire language can be built, literally, from the ground up. We're going to see how simple rules of grammar can shape a unique way of seeing the world, and how crafting new words can actually build a culture. So, let me ask you something. Did you just wake up? Maybe you're still feeling that little bit of grogginess, kind of disconnected from everything. And there's a good reason I'm asking. Because there's this feeling, right? When you wake up, it's not just about getting out of bed. It feels like you're returning from a journey. Like you're coming back to Earth from some strange, sometimes wonderful, sometimes totally bizarre world that existed only in your head. Now, what if you could take that exact feeling and make it real? What if you could actually design and build one of those other worlds, not with bricks and mortar, but with words? Well, that's exactly what a constructed language, or a conlang, lets you do. So let's go. Our destination is a world called Arreqqana. Okay, so every world, real or imagined, needs its own laws of physics, right? The fundamental rules that govern how everything works. For a language, that's its grammar. And let me tell you, Arreqqana's grammar has this twist that totally changes how its speakers might see everything. In English, we almost always say, the man destroys the house. Subject, verb, object. It's all about who is doing the action. But in Arreqqana, the default is verb, object, subject. The action itself always comes first. The focus isn't on who did it, but on what happened. That's a subtle shift, but it's a profound one. Imagine a whole culture where the event is always more important than the person who caused it. Okay, and this is where you can really see the elegance of the language. On the left, you've got your basic statement. Destroys the house, the man. But look at the right. Just by swapping the last two words, the whole thing becomes a question. Boom. The entire meaning flips with one simple move. I mean, how cool is that? It's just so efficient. So if grammar is the laws of physics, then the words themselves, well, that's the art, the culture, the actual soul of this world. The way a language builds its vocabulary tells you everything you need to know about what its people really care about. The system for making words in Arreqqana is just so smart. It's like playing with Legos. You have this modular formula where you start with a core idea, the root, and then you just snap on different prefixes and suffixes to completely change its meaning. It makes the whole language incredibly flexible. On these prefixes, they aren't just, fluff. They add really deep layers of meaning. So ni doesn't just mean not. It means to literally undo something. Ta takes an action and cranks it up, so to see becomes to gaze deeply. And sha can take any old concept and make it sacred. This lets you build incredibly specific ideas right into the DNA of a word. All right, you ready? Let's build a word together. We're going to start with this root, asamar. It basically means to have knowledge. Simple enough, right? A powerful core concept. Okay, step 2. We're going to grab that sacred prefix we just talked about, sha. So now we've got sha plus asimir. We've just taken the simple idea of knowledge and elevated it, made it something holy, something divine. And for the final touch, we'll add the suffix eth, which is used to make a concept into an abstract noun. And just like that, you get shasamerith, sacred knowledge. We just built a concept in a single word that might take us a whole phrase to say in English. Absolutely beautiful. But, building words isn't always about these big, abstract ideas. It can also be incredibly personal. It can define who we are and how we connect with each other, basically embedding cultural rules right into the sound of the language itself. For example, in Arreqqana, gender is built right into the phonetics of the language. You can literally hear the gender of a word by its final vowel. Masculine words tend to end in these harder, more closed sounds, while feminine words finish with softer, more open vowels. It's a really cool, elegant system. But wait, it gets even better, even more nuanced. Check out these two feminine suffixes. They're not just about gender. Itza is what you'd use for someone younger. It's diminutive, kind of cute, a term of endearment. But aza is also affectionate, except it carries this deep sense of respect, something you'd use for an elder. This isn't just grammar anymore. It's a whole social code baked into the language. Okay, pop quiz for you. Based on what we just learned, how do you think you'd say little girl? With that affectionate, endearing tone for someone younger? Take a second. Did you get it? Here's the answer. You take kiela, which is the word for girl, and you add that iza suffix, and you get kieliza. See, it's not just small girl. It's a word that's literally packed with affection and cultural meaning. This is how a language breathes. Up until now, we've really only heard Arreqqana. But for any world to feel truly real, you have to be able to see it, right? So the last piece of the puzzle is the writing system, the artifacts that give this language a physical, visible form. Get this, Arreqqana doesn't have one, but two native scripts, and they each have a totally different vibe. Zerasha is written right to left, like you see in Arabic or Hebrew, and it's got this ancient, almost cryptic feel to it. Valin, on the other hand, is written left to right, and it's designed from the ground up to be elegant and artistic. All right, let's take a simple phrase here. Avaha mailer darkhan. Knowing our VOS grammar, this translates to touches the girl the house, or more naturally for us, the girl touches the house. Right now, it's just familiar letters on a screen. And look at that. This is the exact same phrase, but written in that beautiful, flowing Valin script. All of a sudden, it stops being just a sentence. It becomes a piece of art. It's an artifact from another world. This is the moment a language stops being an idea and becomes real. And with that beautiful image, our little trip to Arreqqana is coming to an end. All right, so it's time to head back to Earth and think about what this all means. You know, what I think is so cool about exploring a language like Arreqqana is that it proves words are so much more than just labels we use to describe things. They're tools for creation. Language gives us the actual blueprints for our reality, for our culture, and yeah, for building entirely new worlds from scratch. So that kind of leaves us with one last big question, doesn't it? If our words are really the building blocks for entire worlds, for new ways of seeing and living, what new worlds should we be trying to build with them?